Hey there, do you dare? If you're into true crime, the paranormal, mysteries, and everything in between, check out Do You Dare? It's a podcast where siblings Emily and Kian Dare dive into the cases that fascinate and unsettle them. They take turns picking the stories, true crime, ghostly encounters, unsolved mysteries, and share all the details with each other and you. Plus, you'll hear the occasional cameo from Emily's dog Kylo and his squeaky toy. If you're looking for something intriguing, creepy, and a little bit fun, give Do You Dare a listen wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, come back next week, if you dare. Canadian Creepies is recorded on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, under the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. These lands and waters have been cared for since long before Canada existed, and they remain deeply important to Indigenous communities today. As we tell stories about darkness, injustice, and memory, I want to acknowledge the very real histories of colonization, violence, and erasure that Indigenous peoples continue to endure. A land acknowledgement can't undo that harm, but it is a reminder to keep listening, learning, and supporting in truth and reconciliation in meaningful ways. We share these stories not to forget, but to shine light, always with respect for peoples and nations whose land we live on. Canadian Creepies covers true crime, dark history, and disturbing events. Some episodes may include graphic descriptions or sensitive subject matter. We do our best to handle every story with care and respect for those affected. That said, we sometimes use humor and sarcasm as a way to process heavy content, never to disrespect victims, survivors, or their families. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Canadian Creepies. I'm your co-host, Valerie.
And I'm your co-host, Amanda Joy.
And we are here for another week. Hopefully the last week. Before
the summer break.
This might be the end of season 2, this episode. Unless we had to unless we have to break this into one more part.
Yeah.
We're not sure. I don't think we are going to have to, though.
We'll see how much talking.
So this might be the last episode of season 2. I do have 2 bonus episodes that will come out. And also there will be the usual summer series. By usual, I mean we did one last summer. We'll do one this summer. Next summer,
We'll find stuff to talk about.
Well, always. And those are, try and keep those. Anyway, doesn't matter. It does matter. We'll get there. So here we go. Okay, this is something we're really excited to talk about. We still haven't shared it on social media. I think it'll be something I share on social media when season 2 ends.
There we go.
Because then I'll have time to work on it. But we also want this to be an Easter egg for listeners first. If you're an artist or a creator or someone who upcycles clothes or someone who macrames like Christine or someone who paper maches, someone who makes collages, someone who...
resin art, beadwork.
Wire
wrapping.
Yes, and yes. Any of that. If you can somehow make it spooky, we're going to call it Canadian Creepies merch. Okay? We just are. And like I'm saying, if you're hearing this now, you're obviously listening to Canadian Creepies. So I want to collaborate with you on merch, but in a way that actually supports you. Because we're creating community with this podcast.
Yes.
This community, not capitalism. So you'd sell everything through your own shop, your own Etsy, your Shopify, whatever it is that you already use. Instagram, whatever. We'd just be adding a new piece together, so you stay fully in control of your work. Every sale, you keep the majority of the profit, and I take a smaller commission through a code or link. You'll also get your own discount code to offer listeners, which helps drive traffic directly to your shop. And I'll be promoting you. not just the merch, across Canadian Creepy socials and here on the podcast. So I'll probably do like a little feature on you, but little secret for content creation. You can make one thing into so much content.
Yeah.
So I can take your business and create content out of it probably for 2 weeks.
Val knows what she's doing with the content stuff.
I've been
just
doing it.
a little bit.
I've been doing it. But we would work together on that. And 2 weeks, I'm just saying. It could be, I used to manage social media accounts for folks and still do the occasional one here and there. So it's something where we can work together to create content for your merchandise for, yeah.
You as an artist overall.
I'm going on a tangent now, so I'm going to go back. And on top of everything, part of what we make is going to be donated to Niagara Reproductive Justice and pay your rent. So it's ethical, it's collaborative, and it actually pays artists and creators and all of the aforementioned. If you're hearing this, you're kind of getting first dibs, so reach out, because we would genuinely love to work with you. That's CanadianCreepiesPodcast@gmail.com.
I will be having something in the works. I just haven't had a second to sit down and actually do it.
That's fine.
But the ideas, they're up in my noggin.
They're there.
They're there.
And as well, I want to advertise Christine because she is doing these awesome, one-of-a-kind Book of the Dead type. No, they're Books of the Dead.
Yeah.
They're all handcrafted, and they are going to go through each case we have covered. So if you really like the Robert Picton episode, you can grab the one and only copy that Christina has made. It has some hints to an episode that we haven't covered yet, that hasn't even been researched yet in it. Like, we're all about the Easter eggs here. So they're really cool. I think she's working on the Clifford Olson one as well.
Yes, she is.
If you're interested in that, again, send us an email, reach out to me, Christine, Amanda, one of the three of us.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere, and it's not hard to find us.
We're accessible.
Right?
We try to be.
Genuinely. Okay, your turn.
We also have some other merch that we sold out once before. Mm-hmm. Even though it's free, we're not selling it, but we're out.
Yeah.
We're 86, and we have restocked.
Yes.
And those are our free seeds. They're creepy cuties, but we have officially restocked.
Yes.
So we want to take a moment to shout out the Ottawa Wildflower Seed Library. It's an incredible community project helping people grow native plants, support pollinators, and bring more wild spaces back into our communities, which we're all about.
Totally.
If you love what we're doing with our Canadian Creepies wildflower seeds, then you'll definitely want to check them out. They've been doing amazing work to make native seeds more accessible and to help create healthier habitats for bees, butterflies, and other important pollinators. Our seed packs are available again, so if you missed out the first time around, now is your chance to grab one and help us grow something beautiful. So happy planting, creeps.
Yeah, and again, you can do that via Instagram, Facebook, email.
I still have to plant my seeds.
Oh, mine
I'm
are
a little
planted.
late in the season, but
That's okay.
they'll still do something.
They'll do something.
They'll do something.
Okay, and that's all the housekeeping. Should we get into it?
Let's jump in. Let's,
Okay.
dive deep.
Okay. So we're talking about the opioid crisis. If you didn't read the title, we're continuing on with the opioid crisis, pain for profit, episode 71B.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opioid crisis in Canada.
It's bad.
When we talk about the creepy factor of this crisis, we have to talk about the woman. Oh, and this episode is researched by Christine.
Yes, yes. Shout out, Christine.
Shout out, Christine.
Mother
Christine. As well, the references are the Public Health Agency of Canada, the Canadian Medical Association Journal, the Sackler Legacy and Purdue Pharma Canada, the Porter and Jick Letter 1980, the Double Burden Study, Dalhousie University Schulich School of Law, Canadian Drug Policy Coalition, the Yenti Syndrome, Health Info Base Canada, the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction, Office of the Chief Coroner of Ontario, the Journal of Law, Medicine and Ethics, Health Quality Ontario, a conversation guide to help people with chronic pain. Superior Court of Quebec, January 26 order. Canadian Red Cross. Health Canada, Journal of Addiction Medicine. BC Coroner's Service. The Good Samaritan Drug Overdose Act. Health Info Base Canada. Moms Stop the Harm. Canadian Affairs. Endometriosis Network Canada. Koski Minsky LLP. Ontario Newsroom, CBC News, Pembroke Regional Hospital Newsroom, the Fifth Estate, CBC, Niagara Institute on Drug Abuse, recovered.org/dermnet, Public Health Ontario, CBC News, PNAS, the Pain, Opioids and Policy Study of University of Toronto, the Global News Investigative Series, the Oxford University, Lung et al., Health Infobase Canada, Health Canada Product Monograph, Moms Stop the Harm Official Records, the Good Samaritan Drug Overdose Act, Overdose Tales Beyond the Threshold Bound, Tales of the Threshold Bound, Canada's Health Canada's Expert Task Force on Substance Use, the Drug Enforcement Administration, RCMP, Statistics Canada, Dreamland by Sam. Okay. Go, Richard.
Go play with your bag.
Sorry, Richard. The Boston Collaborative Drug Surveillance Program, Health Canada's review of opioid marketing, Canadian Federation of Medical Students reports, the opioid crisis in Canada, a report by the Standing Committee on Health, Standing Committee on Health, Centre of Excellence for Women's Health, Chatelaine, One Woman's Story, Canadian Red Cross, and the Black Box Warning Disparity.
Oh, boy.
So a lot of references, thoroughly researched.
In depth.
Way to go, Christine. Okay. So when we talk about the creepy factor of this crisis, we have to talk about the women who are haunted by a ghost that has a pharmacy label on it. We call them the invisible addicts. They aren't who the media shows you. They aren't on a street corner. They are in our suburbs in Barrhaven, which is Ottawa. Mm-hmm. And the Niagara region. They're in the offices we visit, and they are doing exactly what they were told to do. Imagine a woman, let's call her Sam. Sam is 35. She's a professional, she's a mom, she's active. Then she has a C-section or a minor car accident. Her doctor, the person she has trusted since she was a kid, hands her a bottle and says, "Take these, they're safe, they're for the pain." Sam isn't looking for a high. She's looking to be able to pick up her toddler without crying. She follows the instructions on the bottle, but here's the terrifying reality for women in Canada. For many women, the greatest risk for developing an opioid dependency isn't trying drugs. It's receiving a legal prescription. Mm-hmm. Because women are historically socialized to be good and compliant, the nightmare is twice as dark. When Sam eventually realizes that she needs that pill just to stop her skin from crawling, she doesn't go to her friends for help. She doesn't call a hotline. She hides. She hides it because society has a special kind of vitriol for women who use substances. If a man has a drug problem, it's a tragedy. If a woman has one, it's a moral failing. She's labeled a bad mother or a loose cannon. The stigma creates a wall of silence that is deadlier than the drug itself.
Or she has anxiety and just needs to lose weight.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's the go-to. The research shows that women are actually more likely to be prescribed opioids than men. Why? Because medical systems have this delightful habit of dismissing women's pain as emotional or psychosomatic, leading doctors to throw pills at the problem instead of finding the root cause. We are still living in the shadow of a medical system that for centuries treated women as hysterical. While we've swapped the corsets for Lululemon, the underlying bias hasn't changed. When we finally do get seen by physicians, our pain is frequently labeled as stress, anxiety, or hormonal, because doctors often don't take the time to find the actual source of a woman's pain, dismissing it as all in her head. They reach for the easiest tool in the box to get us out of the office, the prescription pad. It is much cheaper and faster for a healthcare system to give a woman a bottle of Percocet than it is to refer her to a specialized pelvic health physiotherapist, an endocrinologist, or a multidisciplinary pain clinic. And Christine, is saying, once again, I have to speak from experience here. I had severe endometriosis until I had a hysterectomy when I was in my 30s. For years, I was given painkillers to deal with it rather than get the hysterectomy I wanted. It took years to get me a proper gynecologist. It is absolutely ridiculous the way our healthcare system treats women.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Look, for this deep dive, we're just impartially examining the evidence. But to understand this 2018 case, you have to start at the raid.
Right, January 23rd.
Yeah. Law enforcement, before dawn, weapons drawn.
Wait, on his wife?
On his wife, on their wedding anniversary. And his father's birthday.
Wow.
His career, over 200 credits just wiped out, all over an alleged extortion involving, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. But look at the source documents.
A lead investigator testified under oath.
0 extortion in the email.
0.
Just 0.
3.5 years, 3 active legal proceedings right now.
The okie doke.
Even now, to get a hysterectomy without pain is or to get your tubes tied is you're jumping through red tape and hoops to get it done.
Yeah, you need your partner's...
You need your partner's permission. And even then...
Or your father, I think.
Yeah, even then it's sometimes not enough because what if I've heard women being told no because what if you divorce and that person wants to have kids and now your tubes are tied because I don't fucking care.
Yeah, what do I care?
I have had these conversations with my partner about whether or not we have kids. And we both are no, it's fine because I wouldn't be with him if he wanted kids. That's just, I have some logic.
Yes.
I'm blonde, not stupid.
Advocacy data shows it takes an average of 7 to 10 years for a Canadian woman to receive an endo diagnosis, during which time many are managed primarily through opioids. Because women are statistically more likely to visit doctors and more likely to report chronic conditions like fibromyalgia or endometriosis, conditions that the medical world still barely understands. We become the frequent flyers. And for a busy GP, that bottle of Oxy is the mute button for a patient they don't know how to help.
Yeah, pain is a symptom.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not the cause.
Yeah.
So figure out the cause and it'll eliminate the pain.
That's right. There's also a psychological layer to this corporate shit show. Men are often encouraged to tough it out, while women are perceived as having a lower pain threshold, which, by the way, is a total myth. Try passing a human being through your birth canal and tell me about thresholds. And being one woman who had a baby unmedicated, yes. That's right.
I haven't had any kids, but when I broke my arm in 5 places, the thing I kept hearing was, wow, you have such a high pain tolerance. And I was like, this isn't even that bad. What are you talking about?
The prescription leads doctors to pity women into a prescription. This perception. They think they are being kind by providing immediate relief, but they are actually bypassing the standard of care. They are handing us a chemical Band-Aid for a wound they refuse to actually look at. We also know that women experience higher rates of adverse childhood experiences and domestic trauma, factors that scientifically increase the risk of chronic pain. Instead of providing trauma-informed care or mental health support, which is notoriously hard to access in Canada, the system defaults to the chemical solution. The medical system doesn't just dismiss women, it silences them. We are overprescribed because we are underserved. We are given pills to quiet the pain that the system is too lazy or too biased to actually diagnose. Back to Sam. She becomes an invisible addict. She hoards her leftovers. She visits walk-in clinics with lost prescriptions. She spends her every waking second of her day calculating how many pills she has left while maintaining a perfect exterior. She's exhausted, she is terrified, and she is being ghosted by the very system that handed her the bottle in the first place. To every woman listening who followed the rules and found herself in a nightmare, you aren't a criminal, you aren't weak. You are a survivor of a corporate heist that used your trust as collateral. Being kind means realizing that Sam doesn't need a lecture. She needs a system that treats her like a human instead of a liability. When we talk about the opioid crisis, we often talk about numbers, statistics on a government webpage. But the real horror isn't in the data. It's in the quiet living rooms of our own communities. Christine recently had the privilege of sitting down with a local mother named Michelle. In 2019, Michelle lost her daughter Morgan to a fentanyl overdose. And when she asked Michelle about the system, this is how good Christine is, by the way. She's interviewing people straight up. When Christine, so she's doing her own research in addition to all the, like, she's conducting her own, like, raw research in addition to,
She's getting first and secondary information.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, that's what it's called. First and secondary. When Christine asked Michelle about the systemic response to this epidemic, she didn't mince her words. Her first sentence hung heavy in the air. The government is really good at making it not their fault. I'm not going to say they don't know what to do because they know what to do. They choose not to. They choose not to. But what I didn't think they realize is how much collateral damage there is from an opioid overdose.
I was actually listening to something the other day that was saying, like, if you were to just solve the housing crisis, like give them homes and have proper access to whatever reason it is, mostly it's mental health and addiction, as to why someone is homeless, it would cost the government less than what they're currently doing.
Yeah.
But
and then those people in turn would pay taxes.
Yes.
And then the government would make more.
But the way it's labeled, people go, I don't want my tax dollars going towards that. Even though it's
so dumb.
spending their tax dollars more than it would be to just fucking solve
Those
it.
are the same people who say, I'll give you $10, but you can't buy heroin with it. It's like,
What do you think they're going to do?
And let them. Screw you. Let them.
Right?
It's you don't get to hold, just because you're giving someone money doesn't mean you get to hold absolute power over their life.
Yes.
And it's $10 or $5 or a toonie or whatever, $20, $50, $100. If you can part with that, then you're fine.
Yeah. I
Honestly.
had a friend who, she was telling me a story about a man she had met outside of a liquor store, and he was like begging for money, and she was like, she went to hand him a $20 and she's like, are you going to buy booze with this? And he's like, damn right, I'm going to buy booze with it. And she's like, well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, right
Here
on.
you go.
Right. Collateral damage, it's a military term, a cold phrase for the destruction left in the wake of a strike. For Michelle, that damage is mapped out in the lives of those left behind. Morgan's 2 children, her sisters, her family, and her friends. A whole network of people left to carry the weight of an addiction they didn't choose. The damage rippled through the family in ways that broke Michelle's heart twice over. Morgan's son, Michelle's grandson, suffered from severe medical issues. Because his biological father had neglected him, the little boy went into kidney failure.
Jesus.
Imagine the toll, making the grueling trip to the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario 3 times a week just for dialysis or sick kids. In the chaos of this crisis, Michelle had to step in. She was no longer just the grandmother, the fun, safe space. Suddenly, she had to be both mother and father. It altered the dynamic of their relationship entirely. Another hidden cost of a war with no front lines. But before the drugs, before the tragedy, there was just Morgan. When Michelle speaks of her daughter, a sad smile touches her face. She remembers her not as a statistic, but as she truly was. My daughter was a very, very loving person. She was the kindest, sweetest thing you could meet. And yes, she had other issues in the past, not with drugs at the time, but other issues. She just didn't have any self-worth.
That's a common thing, mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lack of self-worth is exactly what a monster looks for. In her 20s, Morgan met a man named Aaron. He wasn't... Daisy has something to say. Daisy doesn't like Aaron.
Apparently not. Dogs know.
Dogs know. All I had to do was say his name. He wasn't just a partner, he was a dealer and an addict. And like a parasite, he began to drain Morgan of everything she was. It didn't take long before he had her hooked. Then came the true horror. He began to pimp her out for drug money. I don't think we should say pimp her out. I think we should say, like, he leveraged her for sex work.
I like that better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it and then I lost it.
Yeah. He exploited her.
Yes, thank you. That was the word.
He exploited her for sex work. He subjected her to relentless physical, mental, and emotional abuse. It got so bad that one day, after a brutal beating, Michelle looked at her own daughter and didn't even recognize her face. Yet, trapped in the terrifying psychology of abuse, Morgan stayed silent. And Michelle said she just got so sucked into it. She just wanted to be loved and she would have done anything for him. And that's kind of where it started. It started with OxyContin. Michelle had a prescription after surgery locked away inside a safe. But addiction turns people into ghosts who can pass through walls. Morgan got into the lockbox, taking the pills and the money, the jewelry, anything to fuel the beast. And then Aaron took her away. He managed to isolate her completely, dragging her down to Toronto. There was no way I can find her in a city as big as Toronto, Michelle remembered thinking. They were homeless, living right downtown. Michelle desperately wanted to go there, grab her daughter, pull her out of the gutter, and get her away from Aaron. But the system offered no hand to hold. She pleaded with different social agencies, begging for help. Every door closed in her face. They had no assistance to offer. No one would support her.
It's really hard when addicts form a relationship with other addicts. Like they're referred to as addiction cohorts, using buddies, and it's because they are confusing similar situations with friendship with they understand, oh my God, this person is going through withdrawal. That really sucks. I've been there. Here, have some drugs. Yeah. And they're mistaking that for loyalty and compassion.
Yes.
And so it seems, and it's a familiar scenario. And because it feels familiar, it feels safe.
Yes. Yep.
It's a really, once you get into the root of it and start really researching it, it's so easy to understand why these people are in this position.
It really is easy to understand. And as an addict myself, yeah, totally. Yes. That's, you associate, or I associated, the euphoria you get with using around those people to friendship.
Yeah.
And then, but it also creates so many like cognitive distortions because you start like tallying stuff up like, oh, I gave them some, now they got to give, you know what I mean? Yeah. And if they don't, then your friendship is fucking over, right? Yeah. If they don't get you back. That's very exhausting. Where was I? So Morgan was on the streets of downtown Toronto, but even in the darkest corners of the city, her light still shone. The people on the street, even the drug dealers, loved her. How does Michelle know this? Because she didn't just accept the silence. This grieving mother went on a journey. She explored, she investigated, she talked. It took a long time to break through the wall of silence, but eventually the street spoke to her. A couple of local dealers in the area genuinely liked Mo. They hated seeing her with Aaron. They didn't want to give her drugs, and they tried to protect her from his abuse as best they could. Think about that for a moment. The street-level dealers showed more protectiveness towards Morgan than the institutional systems designed to save lives.
Yeah, I've mentioned before that I have a person who is very close to me who has addiction, and I have gotten phone calls from people that this person is with. And they've been like, I've got so-and-so here. They don't even know their own name. Do you want to come get them?
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you.
Thank you, yes.
I've been looking for them.
Yes. But you can only protect someone from a monster for so long. In 2019, Morgan died. She didn't pass away peacefully in bed. She died in a cold, dirty, bare concrete stairwell in downtown Toronto. And the ultimate cruelty? Aaron, the man who had torn her life apart, was the one who found her body. When Michelle traveled to Toronto to see her daughter's final resting place, she was met with a scene of utter dehumanizing neglect. The police hadn't even cleaned up. Her daughter's bodily fluids were still stained on the ground, and there, scratched into the wall of that cold stairwell, was a final haunting cry for help. Morgan had written, "Please, Aaron, don't do this to me."
I just got chills.
Right? Don't say this isn't true crime. Don't even.
I know. I get asked all the time when I'm telling people about topic they're doing, and they're like, how does that relate to true crime? And I was like,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Was there a homicide investigation? A deep dive into the domestic abuse, the sex work, the psychological warfare that led to that stairwell?
Forced sex work.
Forced sex work. No. Exploitative sex work.
Yes.
There was no police investigation. To the authorities, she was just another addict. And this is just what happens to addicts. They treat Morgan as if she was insignificant. When Michelle tried to get answers, the systemic apathy hardened into cruelty. Mm-hmm. The police wouldn't let Michelle see her daughter's body. Terrible. Initially, they wouldn't even give her Morgan's belongings. They treated a grieving mother with the same cold indifference they showed to the deceased.
If they're not investigating anything, why aren't you giving the... Like, I could understand if you needed to go through it, it was evidence, you might find something, you needed to photograph it.
You still need to do an autopsy?
Yeah, but otherwise, what the fuck?
Yeah, straight up.
Oh.
It's a chilling reminder that the creepiest monsters in Canada aren't lurking in the woods or hiding under the bed. They are the predators who exploit the vulnerable, the chemical hooks that strip away the people who we love, and a system so cold it treats human beings like litter on a stairwell, leaving families like Michelle's to sift through the collateral damage alone. But let's talk about the biggest, most disgusting magic trick the pharmaceutical industry ever pulled. It wasn't just the science they faked, it was the shame they manufactured. Have you ever wondered why, when we talk about the opioid crisis, the conversation always slides back to personal responsibility? Why do we spend more time judging the person shivering in a withdrawal sweat than the billionaire who paid for the marketing that put them there? Straight up, Christine. It's because the industry didn't just sell pills. They sold a narrative of moral failing. The manufacturers created a deliberate bifurcation. They spent years framing a world where there are legitimate pain patients and illegitimate drug abusers. If you took the pill and stayed quiet, you were a patient. If the drug, the highly addictive one they lied about, did exactly what it was designed to do and hooked you, suddenly you weren't a patient anymore, you were a criminal. You were weak-willed. This was a calculated move. By blaming misuse, the companies could claim their product was perfect and the only problem was the flawed human beings taking it. It's like a car company making a vehicle with no brakes and then blaming the driver for the poor choice of hitting the wall. Let's get real about the choice narrative. Research from 2026 shows that even now, 78% of people still think addiction is a lack of self-discipline.
It has been proven to be an actual illness.
It's an illness. Can give me a fucking break. When you hijack the brain's reward system with a substance that is chemically engineered to mimic the most fundamental survival signals, choice isn't in the driver's seat anymore. The manufacturer knew this. They knew that once the hook was set, the choices were being made by a hijacked amygdala, not a rational human being. And amygdala is the joy center of the brain.
Pleasure center.
Pleasure center. Calling it a choice is just a convenient way for the suits to sleep at night while their bank accounts grow. It is systemic because we frame addiction as a sin instead of a systemic failure. Our policies are built to punish instead than to heal. Why is it so hard to find a treatment bed in Ontario but so easy to find a jail cell? Why are we still arguing about safe consumption sites while 16 people die every single day?
Because prisons are a business.
Yes. It's because stigma is a cost-saving measure for the government. If we admit this is a healthcare crisis fueled by corporate greed, we have to spend billions fixing the system and holding the powerful accountable. If we keep calling it a moral failing, we can just keep sweeping people under the rug and calling it justice. Isn't it funny how we never blame the person who gets addicted to chemotherapy for being weak? We don't judge the person whose body rejects an organ transplant. But when a woman follows her doctor's orders and ends up in a nightmare, we ask, well, why didn't she just stop? Here is the choice word for the day: complicity. The manufacturer is the pusher. The regulator is the lookout. And the stigma? The stigma is the weapon they use to keep us from looking at the men behind the curtain. We need to stop asking victims why they couldn't control themselves and start asking the CEOs why they were allowed to monetize human suffering without ever seeing the inside of a courtroom. Kindness isn't just empathy for the victim. It's a refusal to accept the corporate lie that their lives didn't matter because they weren't disciplined enough to resist a chemical ambush. You. Yeah, you. Still haunting the same old fast fashion? Time to dig up something better with Back from the Dead Goods, a Canadian small business where forgotten threads get a second life and sustainability meets spooky. This isn't just upcycled clothing. It's resurrected fashion with an eerie edge. Handpicked, reworked, and revived, every piece is as unique as a ghost story whispered at midnight. And because you're a part of the Canadian Creepies family, you get an exclusive deal. Use code Canadian Creepies at checkout for 10% off. Find them lurking on Instagram, Etsy, and Poshmark. Links are in the episode description. Give your wardrobe a second chance at life, if you dare. Hey creeps, it's Valerie here, and if you're anything like us, you love capturing a moment, whether it's spooky, sweet, or somewhere delightfully in between. Let me introduce you to our go-to for stunning shots, darkroom photography, based right here in the heart of the Niagara region. Mel, the brilliant eye behind the lens, is a lifestyle and creative photographer who brings a little bit of magic and maybe a touch of mystery to every session. She's got all her prices listed right on her website, super transparent, no tricks. And she runs killer seasonal specials around Mother's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and more. I'm telling you, her Halloween sessions, creepy perfection. So, if you're in the Niagara area and looking to capture memories that are hauntingly beautiful, hit up Mel at mel@darkroomphotography.ca or check out her work at www.darkroomphotography.ca. That's Darkroom Photography, where your memories come to life, even in the dark. Looking for your next obsession? The Creators Collective Podcasts is your gateway to the dark, the chilling, and the downright fascinating. We're a community of independent podcasts with one goal: to share the best in true crime, paranormal tales, folklore, and unexplained mysteries. Whether you crave cold cases that won't stay closed, haunted histories that refuse to be forgotten, or stories that make you sleep with the lights on, there's a show waiting for you in the collective. And when you join us, you're not just listening to one podcast. You're stepping into a world of creators who love this stuff as much as you do. Check out the Creators Collective today. Follow the link in our show notes to discover your next favorite podcast. We'll be waiting for you. Support reproductive justice in Niagara. Niagara Reproductive Justice is a grassroots collective based in the Niagara region of Ontario, working to increase visibility and access to sexual and reproductive health care. They support people seeking abortion and other essential care by offering transportation, financial assistance, logistical help, and emotional support. Here's how you can help. You can make a one-time donation. Send an e-transfer to niagarareproductivejustice@gmail.com. Your support helps cover costs like gas for volunteer drivers, overnight stays, childcare, and other urgent needs. You can also support monthly via Patreon. Join their Patreon and support the cause month to month. It's patreon.com/Niagara Reproductive Justice. And you can volunteer your time. NRJ is always looking for volunteers to help with driving, outreach, admin support, and community organizing. If you're looking to make a real impact in the Niagara region, this is a great place to start. Contact them via email or DM them on Instagram or Facebook to learn more. You can find them on Instagram at Niagara Reproductive Justice and on Facebook at Niagara Reproductive Justice. Help amplify access to reproductive care right here in our own backyard. Whether you donate, volunteer, or spread the word, you're a part of the movement.
It really does hijack your brain and change the way that your brain thinks and perceives things.
Again, as an addict, I was addicted to stimulants, but it truly does change. It creates a lot of cognitive distortions, and you have to, when I got clean, I worked for a year in different therapy programs and relapse prevention and NA and all of these things, just to try and keep literally rewire my brain.
Rehab
and
isn't a cure.
And that's not an opioid.
Yeah.
And that's not an opioid.
Rehab isn't a cure. There is no cure. It is a complete lifestyle change.
It is. The cure is a lifestyle change.
And that's hard.
It's fucking hard.
It's think about how hard it is for you to give up fast food, cigarettes, video games.
Your vape.
When Netflix
Weed.
asks you...
I love weed.
When Netflix go, hey, are you still watching? And it's 3:00 at night and you go, yes, I am still watching.
I will be still watching.
Right?
For the rest of my life.
That's what it is. I have heard some addicts say that as soon as the idea, they can go for a week and not think about it. And as soon as the idea hits their mind, that's all they can think about. And it doesn't feel like a choice. It is an overwhelming compulsion. They don't think about anything else. It's just a one track. How do I get it? Where do I go to use? That's
technically they're in addiction. There are a couple more stages before that. There's there's pre-contemplation.
Yeah.
So where they're then there's contemplation, and then there's should I, and then there's action.
Yeah.
So there is it's not just, it sort of does ramp up to that, but it's very not controllable. But once you learn this in relapse prevention, but once you get that first you can immediately work to stop that. You have to put in work to stop it. You have to tell someone, oh, I might use.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to be humble enough.
Yeah, that too. And that's hard too, especially when your entire world has been, I gotta use. Okay, so I use. And you're around people who are using and in environments that have encouraged you to use. That's why it's a lifestyle change. And relapse prevention is a big thing. You can go to rehab and do fine in rehab.
Yeah.
Or a treatment facility. But when you come out and you're exposed to, like, you're no longer isolated away from it.
Yeah.
And you're faced with all these real world triggers.
Things. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yes.
You need to have a system in place.
You gotta have a plan.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a part they don't talk about enough. Like, everyone's like, oh, just go to rehab, just go to a treatment facility.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
So much more than that.
Another misconception.
Love it.
All right.
We don't love misconceptions.
We don't. We love correcting misconceptions.
That's right.
Yes.
We love discussing misconceptions.
So let's talk about the double standard of care.
Yeah.
In the medical world, there is a ghost in the room, and its name is gender bias.
Ooh. Don't tell me this isn't true crime.
For decades, the Canadian medical system hasn't just ignored women's pain, it has systemically mislabeled it. Overprescribed it, and then they left them with nothing and nowhere to go when the side effects kicked in. The dismissal of women's pain is rooted in a dark, creepy history for a century. Women's pain. Ooh. We need to make some sort of graphic with like little ghosts labeled.
Systemic oppression.
Gender bias. Because they are real, and if you're experiencing that, you would know it's fucking hella scary.
You know.
If a woman has chronic pain that couldn't be explained by like a visible wound, it was labeled as hysteria or psychosomatic. Do you know that they actually used to masturbate women?
Yes,
because
I knew that. It makes me so uncomfortable.
If they had anxiety, a doctor would literally 1800s medicine for you.
Makes me so uncomfortable.
Right? Like, that was the cure.
It's just always being raped.
That was the
cure. No matter where we go, we're being sexually assaulted.
Right. That was a cure.
You know what the cure must be? I must have to put my hands in your pants. That must be it.
Let me touch your genitalia.
That's it. I got to
I'm a doctor. I think I know where your clitoris is.
You're going to feel better. That's all I'm saying. Should your husband do this? No. Absolutely not.
No.
Should you do this? No. No.
Trust
Leave
me.
it up to me. I better be the one.
Trust me. I'm a professional.
I'm the only one who can do it.
Meanwhile, I bet most doctors couldn't, back then, didn't even know what a clitoris even was.
They were just like,
I'm touching you. That's my left thigh. Not the...
it makes me feel so gross.
It was so disgusting. Even in 2025 and this current year,
which is 2026.
2026.
If you're tuning into this, I don't know, in like 2030 or something.
Yeah, just so you're aware. Research from the Center of Excellence for Women's Health shows that a bias is still alive and well. Women are still more likely to have their physical pain symptoms attributed to emotional distress or anxiety compared to men.
Well, I am anxious, and what of it?
That has
I'm
nothing
on medicine for that.
That has nothing to do with my pain.
Yeah, nothing to do.
Can you not see the bone sticking out of my leg?
My back hurts.
Not
I'm a
anxiety.
florist. I stand. All I do is stand.
I'm in child labor right now. I'm literally
in labor.
About to give birth. My water, I'm standing in broken placenta right now.
I don't know. I think you're worried.
I think
you're overreacting.
If you dropped about 20 pounds, you would feel better.
I'd love to lose 8. At least 8 right now.
When we show up at the ER with acute pain, we wait on average 30 minutes longer to be seen. And we are less likely to receive the same strength of pain relief as men with the exact same complaints. It's kind of like how there was male birth control and the men had the same
I'm
effects.
nauseous.
Oh, I'm a little weepy.
I'm nauseous and emotional.
It was the same adverse effects that women experience, but the men had it, and they're like,
the women will do it.
No,
the women will do it.
Don't worry.
They're already having the babies. We better.
They've had this for years. They've got it.
They've been doing it.
We don't need to help them out in that department.
They're fine.
I'm so annoyed. Because the system is too biased to diagnose us, it defaults to drugging us. Women in Canada are consistently prescribed opiates at higher rates than men, particularly for chronic conditions like fibromyalgia and endometriosis. Conditions that, let's be honest, the medical community still treats like a mystery novel that they're too lazy to read. I think they actually...
Go ahead.
They just changed the name for endometriosis too because they've done some more research. And
they changed it to like women's pain problem.
It's like something.
Women's body problem. Generic.
Generic. Take some Advil. Oh, the Advil's not working. Here's some.
And have you tried Advil?
Have you tried Advil? No, it's not working. Well,
I'm like, I guess I could take it more. I don't know. How many Advil does one have?
I can't remember the last time I used Advil. Maybe when I broke my arm?
Yeah.
No, I've taken it with the arthritis.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And it does absolutely nothing to help me whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the results are we are being handed chemical mute buttons. Doctors throw high-potency opioids at women.
And also, that's what I was going to tangent about something.
Tangent away.
Because if the women, the girly pops, also the gays... The girlies, gays, and theys. The girlies, gays, and theys, the creative ones. Not saying men aren't creative, because they are.
As you're wearing a David Bowie shirt.
He was gay. Bisexual.
Bisexual at the very least.
Half gay. Just like me. It's my bisexual king.
I love that I sent you that video the other day.
Oh, yeah, because we've been making changes. We're making changes. Mm-hmm. We get things done. We execute things well. So if we... and the big money people are afraid we're going to take it over with love and kindness.
Hippie era. We want to, and we'll succeed.
So let's live in a community.
Manifestation.
Okay, we're manifesting like a beautiful garden, just sunshine, clean water to swim in.
Everybody has their own gardens.
Everybody has their own
corporate grocery
gardens.
stores are no longer taking from small business owners.
We just all have a responsibility for a garden, and then like we all have certain things we have to grow, but we all help each other grow things as well. And then we take those things to the grocery store.
Like a farmer's market, only mass scale.
But it's free.
Yeah.
And then
it's trade based.
It's trade based. So you go, and then if you need food, you just take it.
Yeah.
But you don't overtake because you don't take what you don't need.
Greedy corporate America.
You just don't take what you don't need.
Yeah. Solutions. We be coming up with problem solving skills, and they want to silence us because it means they don't have money.
Yeah, that's right. And this is a cheap way of living as well.
It's a better way of living.
But I still want internet, electricity.
Yeah. Yes.
I still want the internet and electricity and running water. These are things I still want.
And there are communities in Canada that don't have that.
Yeah. Indigenous communities.
Mm-hmm. It is 2026. Why the fuck hasn't that been solved yet?
Honestly.
But I digress. Doctors throw high-potency opioids at women to quiet the complaints because they aren't trained or funded to find the root cause of the pain. We aren't being treated...
No, one doctor has been like, I'm just going to make it a passion project of mine to get some other people interested in women's health.
You know who have?
Who?
Women doctors.
No male doctors?
Women doctors
I thought, you know what? Maybe I want my wife to enjoy her life.
And actually right now...
And my daughter.
In the United States...
Or just women in general. They don't even have to personify them to me.
In the States right now, the mortality rate for pregnant women is
crazy high.
Is the highest it has been in 40 years.
It's wild.
Your grandma had better health care for her uterus than you do now.
In the States.
That's insane. It's okay, yawn away, girl. I've had this, the pollen is going nuts on my throat right now, so I'm like...
Felix the other day was like, he had... like a runny nose or something, and we were like, are you okay? And he was like, oh yeah, it's just that time of year where I get a runny nose and a sore throat. And we were like, okay,
what are
so
you,
allergies? Yeah, it's just that time of year. And he's sitting like this, like he'll sometimes sit like this. Yeah, it's just that time of year when I get that.
He's like an 80-year-old man with high knee socks.
He is sometimes. He's like, and Elliot's always punching me. Elliot's his 3-year-old little brother.
I love it.
He's not being abused. Although he would beg to differ.
This is true.
Yeah.
Now,
But we love Elliot. He's my son too. Sorry.
yeah, he's
He's
son
not my
two.
he's not, son number 2.
With son squared.
But now he's making a joke where he's son 4. Oh. It's very funny.
The way kids' minds work.
Yeah.
So here's the real kicker. While the system is happy to hand out the pills, it is notoriously bad at helping women get off of them. Most recovery programs in Canada...
Which, again, is just another job.
Yeah.
Just another job to be created. Just have someone, have a specialist. If you need to prescribe Oxycontin, well, here's also an advocate as well. Here's an advocate assigned to you. They're going to call you twice a week, see how you're doing.
Yeah. Check in.
They're also going to come, and if need be, they're going to get somebody in the area to come check on you.
Yep.
And then they'll do
XYZ,
ABC. Blah, blah. Okay. Nope. We need to wean this person off. And then you wean them off.
Like a normal person.
Just go, oh, I think they're addicted. And then stop.
You know what they do wean off? Prednisone.
What's prednisone?
Prednisone is a anti-inflammatory steroid that
you know what they do wean off?
Prednisone. What's that?
What is it?
It's a very not good for your body type of steroid that you can be on. Like, I've had it for asthma attacks. It's never been like bad enough for me to be on it for like long term, but there are people who have certain what's it called? Autoimmune conditions, or like my grandma had a stroke in her eye and she needed to have weirdest thing ever, but like she goes on about it all the time, but like she had to take, like it puffed up her face and everything. Cancer patients often are on it, and you are weaned off of it because it fucks your body up if you just cut it cold turkey. Same with
SSRIs, you have to be weaned off.
SSRIs,
guilty.
Depression, same, and depression medication. So if you already have those practices in place, why aren't you doing it with things that you are aware cause addiction?
Yeah, honestly.
Over all of my health issues, because I got a lot. I'm like almost 40 years old, but you'd think I'd 90. I have been on lorazepam. I've been on Valium. I've had oxys, and I've had hydromorphines. The only one where they were like, are you going to be okay on this because this is addictive, was the lorazepam.
Not the hydromorphine.
No.
Oh my God.
Or the oxys, like the Percocets. And I was like, they're giving me night terrors and sleep paralysis. Can you please switch me off of this? I don't like this. Thank you very much. I hate it here. But I digress. The recovery programs in Canada are designed by men for men.
Yeah.
They focus on a boot style type of discipline that ignores the unique needs of women, like trauma-informed care, child support, or addressing the 70 to 80% of women who are in treatment that are survivors of domestic and sexual violence.
And also, it's just more likely women would relapse around the time of their period. So it's like every month.
Hormonal.
Every month. Literally every month you have to be like, well, here we go again.
Why am I injecting fentanyl into my arm? Yeah. It's like crash test dummies. Mm-hmm. I think it was 2003 that they started to design them after women. And by design them by women, they downscaled the male ones to be smaller. So they're still not modeled after the female bodies. No. And I think it was either last year or the year before that the CPR dummies were included to be female.
Oh, that's good, because you got to know where to press. Because if you press on my boobs, you're not going to do anything.
You have, and like they vary in size. So if you have a woman who's like double D's and you're trying to do CPR, you're gonna not do it right. Women are extraordinarily more likely to die from a heart attack or have some sort of respiratory conditions because CPR training isn't designed for them.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. Patriarchy, societies, hurt everyone. For women in Canada, seeking help often means risking everything. If you admit you have a dependency, you aren't met with a safety net. You are met with a threat to your custody because there are so few family-centered treatment options where women can bring their children and stay invisible. Many of them stay invisible until it's too late. So you can go to rehab, but what are you going to do with your kid? Mm-hmm. Who's going to drive them to and from school, feed them dinner every night? Gaps in the care.
There were, I remember, like, locally anyway, they did offer me, they were like, well, after, so like, when I went to Kazan, they, like, evaluated me, and they're like, because there are some rehabs where you can bring your son.
Yeah. Did you do the day treatment with Kazan?
No.
No? I dig it. That's the only one I know that's available.
Did I do day treatment?
I know through...
No, I just did a lot of NA meetings.
I know you did that, yeah.
And Smart Recovery.
Smart Recovery is really good.
They said I didn't need day treatment because I just did other stuff.
That's good too.
Yeah.
I know people who have done the day treatment, and it can be good because you are going home at the end of the day and you're putting in real time the stuff that they teach you. So you come up with a problem, you deal with it, and then you go back the next day and you're like, here, this is what happened. This is how I handled it. And they can be like, okay, good job. Or you can do this next time. As opposed to being completely isolated, like a rehab facility or a treatment facility where you spend weeks there. But it's also in a place where there's addicts slumped over sleeping in every single...
in St. Catharines.
Yeah, in St. Catharines, we're talking about like locally to
That's probably
to
not
us.
everywhere.
Yeah, because it is a Canadian addiction center, so there's satellites all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think they do referrals to certain inpatient treatment facilities around the area as well. So there's a few different types of care, but again, like the day treatment is Monday through Friday from 9 till 3. Who's going to watch your, like, I mean, your kids should be in school, but what if you have like a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
Right? Like, who's going to be watching them all day? It's very rough. It's bias, gender bias. It's a chasm, and we're telling women to just say no while the medical establishment is screaming, just take this. It's time that we stop asking women why they can't handle their prescriptions and start asking why the system was designed to hand them the bottle and a death sentence in the same breath. Now imagine that you have been a good patient for like a decade. You are in a car accident in 2005. Your doctor puts you on a high-dose regime, and you've done excellent at what you've been told. You have never missed an appointment. You have never failed a drug test. And then the headlines about the crisis start hitting, and suddenly the doctor who's been handing you a script for 10 years looks at you like you're not a human in pain, but as a liability. This is the healthcare ghosting. When the medical community realizes that they started a fire, their first instinct wasn't to grab the extinguisher. It was to sprint for the exit and lock the door behind them. Around 2016 and 2017, the pendulum swung from prescribe everything to prescribe nothing, so fast that it gave the entire country whiplash. Doctors, terrified of being investigated by their colleagues or lose their license, started tapering patients, often aggressively and without consent. We're talking about people who have been on these meds for half of their lives, being told, sorry, new guideline, you're done. And slowly, it's not a slow ramp down. There's no psychological support. It's just a shrug and a good luck with the withdrawal. The worst part, when you cut someone off from a chemical dependency without a bridge to a safe alternative, you aren't curing them. Rather, you're evicting them. Thousands of Canadians were left in agonizing withdrawal with no access to Sublocade,
Suboxone, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few, Sublocade, Suboxone, and Methadone. The actual lifeboats of recovery, because those programs were and still are chronically underfunded and buried in red tape.
Or like what happened in St. Catharines, we had a safe consumption site and a Montessori school decided it wanted to move within
a few feet, block radius or something.
The block radius, and then the and a Montessori isn't a public school, so it's
a privately funded school.
That's literally gentrification. That's gentrification, straight up.
It's so frustrating. I know somebody who had a good friend who had been in a car accident, and they were given fentanyl patches at the peak when they decided, oh, no, we're overprescribing these. Sorry, about your luck, no more. And any sort of coverage for them was gone, and they jacked them up to like $250 per patch.
Yeah.
And so this guy was just completely cut off. He was dead within 6 months because he was using straight fentanyl to help with the withdrawals. Mm-hmm. That's the problem we're talking about here. Yeah. He was prescribed something for his pain, and they took it away from him.
And people are resourceful. They don't, if you stop, look, when things are made like abortion, just like abortion, it doesn't stop, making it illegal doesn't stop it. It just makes it unsafe.
Yeah. And that's the misconception that people have, is that you are curing the issue.
Yeah.
And you're not.
You're not.
So What happens when the legal door slams shut? They go, like I said, they go to the only door that's still open, the illicit market. By ghosting these patients, the healthcare system effectively handed them over to fentanyl dealers on a silver platter. We took legitimate patients and forced them into the arms of the very dick faces that the government claims to be protecting us from. In 2025 and 2026, we are seeing the fallout. Patients who were ghosted now have profound medical trauma. They don't trust doctors. They don't seek help for other issues because they're terrified of being labeled as drug-seeking the moment that they mention their history. It's a brilliant system, isn't it? The manufacturers make billions hooking people on the front end, and then the public gets mad, and the doctors wash their hands of it on the back end. The patient is the only one who ends up in the dirt. We treat human beings like expired subscriptions. When the terms of service change, we just canceled them and hoped that they would disappear. Where was the government's plan for the 200,000 plus Canadians on long-term opiate therapy? There wasn't one. The nation's strategy was basically stop prescribing and hope for the best. Well, the best turned out to be the deadliest decade in Canadian history. That's not a gap in care, and it's rather a betrayal of the Hippocratic Oath on a national scale.
Mm-hmm.
Christine has some pretty good prose in this
Yes.
research of us. Thanks, girly pop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we are going to have to break this into another part.
Yeah, she's got a couple of portions for us, and they're pretty in depth.
Yeah.
Go,
So I'm
Christine.
going to do this next part.
Okay.
Now let's move really close to home.
This is Christine.
Yeah, this is Christine. She says, as some of you know, I spent 10 years growing up in Pembroke, Ontario, in Renfrew County. Pembroke is a scenic small city getaway located about 90 minutes or 150 kilometers northeast of Ottawa along Highway 17, known as the heart of the Ottawa Valley. It serves as a relaxed riverside alternative to city life, featuring historic downtown charm, an outdoor mural art gallery, and an easy access to nature, including the Ottawa River and Algonquin Park. In a place that feels like home, things have gotten dire, but they're trying something new, Christine says. The situation in Pembroke and Renfrew County has become a focal point for the new era of addiction treatment in Ontario. As of early 2026, the Renfrew County Mesa HART Hub is officially operational, making a significant shift from the previous harm reduction models to a treatment-first approach. CBC has been closely following the transition in rural Ontario, particularly through segments on the Fifth Estate and local CBC Ottawa reporting. The narrative focuses on the war on safe drugs and how politics have reshaped the front lines of the crisis. In Pembroke, the documentary lens explores the hub and spoke model, highlighting how a small rural city is attempting to manage an urban-level drug crisis without the supervised consumption sites that the province has been phasing out.
Thanks, Doug Ford.
Thanks, Doug Ford. What is the HART Hub? HART stands for Homeless and Addiction Recovery Treatment. These hubs are the Ford government's flagship response to the crisis. Funded by a $550 million provincial investment, the Mesa HART Hub in Pembroke is unique because it is built on a collaborative multi-sector model. Here are some of the features of the model and how it can help. There is integrated care. It combines primary care, mental health services, and addiction counseling under one umbrella, and it's a partnership between Pembroke Regional Hospital and local agencies.
Nice.
There's also bridge housing. Includes 24/7 intake and 24/7 is good. Intake,
that's great.
Yeah, and transitional beds located at locations like the Care for McKay Center to prevent people from falling back into homelessness during treatment.
Like right now, I know the detox center is closed Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Most, I think it's RAMP treatment centers, rapid access medication, are also closed on the weekend.
Wow. The spoke model. Since Renfrew County is huge, the hub uses community access points so residents in smaller towns can still connect to the main Pembroke services. And treatment focus. There's a strict rule. HART hubs do not offer supervised consumption or safer supply. They are designed purely for recovery and stabilization. While the HART Hub brings $6.3 million in new funding to the region, CBC's reporting has highlighted the safety gap that worries local advocates. Critics and frontline workers interviewed by CBC argue that by removing supervised consumption and needle exchanges, the system is ghosting those who aren't ready for full recovery yet, potentially increasing the risk of benzodope deaths in the community. Crazy.
Benzos are crazy, too.
Yeah. In a place like Pembroke, transportation is a major barrier. There is no city bus service and the taxis are unreliable at best. There are not nearly enough for the population. If you aren't in the city center, accessing the hub is a life or death logistical nightmare. MESA stands for Mobile Engagement Support and Advocacy. It originally started as a mobile team, a clinic on wheels, to meet people where they are, which CBC highlighted as a rare proactive measure in a system that usually waits for people to walk through the door.
So it's not doing that anymore then?
I guess not.
That's disheartening.
No, it is doing that.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. It's Mesa HART Hub, yeah.
Okay.
The Pembroke HART Hub is one of 28 across the province. Its success is being watched as a litmus test for whether a recovery-only model can actually lower the death rate in rural Canada, where fentanyl and nitazines are currently flooding the streets. The HART Hub rollout is essentially the Ontario government's massive new direction for the crisis. As of April 2026, the province has invested over $550 million to establish a total of 29 HART Hubs across the province.
That's not enough.
It's not enough. Here's a breakdown of where these hubs are popping up and which cities are losing their supervised consumption sites as a result. There are currently 2 main HART Hubs serving the Ottawa area. And Christine says, as of the time this episode airs, they have been closed down, and none of us support this decision at all. The province targeted cities that previously had high-profile supervised consumption sites because the HART model prohibits safe injection or safer supply. Many of these cities are seeing a total flip in how they handle the crisis. There are HART Hubs in Toronto, London, Peterborough, Niagara, and Barrie, to name a few. In addition, the province specifically funded hubs to address the unique challenges of rural life. So there are also HART Hubs in rural areas such as Orangeville, Kenora, one of the 2 Indigenous-led hubs focusing on culturally relevant land-based healing, and Sault Ste. Marie. As of March 16th, 2026, the province officially ended funding for 7 active drug injection sites, 2 in Ottawa, 2 in Toronto, the 1 in Niagara, Peterborough, and London.
You need to have a combination of both.
Yeah, you need to have a combination of both. One leads to the other.
Yeah, it's very... Opiates especially are, like, fentanyl is one of the most addictive things out there.
Yeah.
And it's not like a snap of your finger to get off. So sometimes harm reduction is the first step, and that's what those sites are there for.
Yep. The government stance is, and they're there to, like, get the idea in your brain.
Yes.
The government stance is that these cities are breaking the cycle by replacing needles with beds. But the critical question remains, what happens to the people who aren't ready for a bed yet? Are these HART Hubs sufficient in replacing safe consumption sites? This question is sitting at the heart of the accountability debate we've been having. Whether HART Hubs are detrimental depends entirely on who you ask. The government trying to balance a budget or the families trying to keep their children breathing. To break this down, we have to look at the survival gap. The conflict isn't just about buildings, it's about what we value more, survival or abstinence. And for the consumption sites, there are the following arguments. Harm reduction. You can't get into treatment if you're dead.
Preach.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
You have supervised use, drug testing, checking for fentanyl and benzos, and needle exchange. The risk, they can lead to public disorder and discarded needles if not managed properly.
It's hepatitis C, I think, is a big problem, like especially in the jail communities, because people are going in there with needle exchanges, like who have been in environments where there haven't been safe needle exchanges, and now they're going into jail, probably for drug-related charges. And you're in such a close, tight-knit community, it's bound to go rampant. So if you go into like jail, I'm not talking like prison, not like a little jail hub where you're there for 30 days. You have like a 4 or 5 year sentence. Yeah. You're coming out with hepatitis. You need safe injections and needle exchange.
Yes. On the other hand, the arguments for the HART Hubs are as follows. Recovery first. The goal is to get you off drugs entirely. They offer primary care. And Christine says she's going to do her best to not get into the primary care shit show that Ontario is in because of Doug Ford, but just know that it took a lot. There I go. Oh, there I go. Okay.
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
I lost my place now. Mental health counseling and transitional housing. The risk here, it removes the immediate life-saving intervention for people not ready for recovery. Frontline workers and researchers are sounding the alarm because HART Hubs are a replacement, not an addition. Since the transition began in 2025, Toronto Paramedic Services reported an 82% increase in suspended opioid overdose calls. Why? Because without a supervised site, people are back to using in back alleys or alone, the two places where you are most likely to die. Experts note that HART Hubs are promising recovery beds, but the infrastructure isn't there yet. We're seeing detox cycles where people are sent back to the street while they're waiting months for a bed, only now they have no safe place to go. Supervised sites act as an early warning system. They test the drugs and tell the community, hey, there's a bad batch of purple fentanyl out there. HART Hubs are prohibited from drug testing, meaning we are flying blind into a toxic supply. Yeah, brutal.
Oh.
The Ministry of Health argues that the old model was a failed approach that only managed addiction rather than curing it. They point to public safety concerns near schools and daycares like the tragic shooting in South Riverdale in 2023 as proof that supervised sites invite crimes into neighborhood. They argue that the $550 million is finally putting money into long-term solutions, housing, and doctors instead of just enabling continued use. It's like the government took a burning building and said, we're not going to use fire extinguishers anymore because they don't fix the wiring. Instead, we're going to invest in a brand new construction crew that will arrive in 6 months. In the meantime, the building is still on fire. Most medical experts aren't against HART Hubs. They just think it's insane to close the consumption site while opening the hubs.
Preach.
Yeah. They believe you need both. The consumption site to keep you alive today and the HART Hub to give you a life tomorrow. And we agree.
I fully agree. This was a frustrating episode. I'm so mad right now.
Very frustrating.
And you really don't realize how much addiction I guarantee you know somebody in your life who is impacted by addiction in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And are we ready for Creep of the Week?
I'm ready for Creep of the Week.
I didn't have a Creep of the Week picked out, so I just thought of one while the episode was going, and I decided it's Doug Ford again.
It's funny when I mentioned Doug Ford, I was going to be like, he's been Creep of a Week for a while.
Yeah, he's Creep of the Week again. Because his stance on addiction is strictly abstinence-based, pivoting the province away from harm reduction policies. His government has defunded supervised drug consumption sites and is redirecting hundreds into the homeless addiction and recovery treatment. Key components of his addiction strategy include consumption site closures. Ford forced the closure and defunded supervised consumption sites across the province, citing public safety concerns for local neighborhoods and parks. The LCBO metaphor. Ford has compared safe injection sites to enabling addiction, likening them to giving an alcoholic a card for the LCBO. But he put booze in fucking gas stations. And
corner stores. And he's trying to make it a bucket. Okay, there's a reason. This was one of my big arguments during COVID when everything was shut down. And everyone was like, why the fuck are LCBOs still open? Because the addicts need, especially alcohol. Yeah. You will die if you do not detox off of it
Straight up.
It is like fentanyl, you'll be really, 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 really sick, but you won't die from that. So you need to have access to liquor stores. So that's why they were kept open, and everyone's like, I don't fucking get it. And I was like, educate yourself, Google's free.
Honestly. The government also passed the Safer Streets, Stronger Communities Act, which prohibits public consumption of illegal substances and bans injection sites within 200 meters of schools and childcare centers. There's also the decriminalization opposition. Ford has stated his government will never decriminalize hardcore drugs.
It has worked in other, I think, was it Alberta that tried it?
Yeah, don't use the places that it has evidence for where it's worked. I don't allow it work here. Fucking idiots.
When they did do it in Canada, I don't think they had any other systems in place.
They never do it properly.
That's exactly it. That's why it failed.
It's like universal basic income. They gave it a shell program. And the people who were like, yeah, this was actually really helpful. Yeah, we really like this. It was very helpful. Thank you so much. And they were like, well, it's done now.
Yeah, they didn't do it right.
They didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Canadian Creepies. I got nothing
Yeah.
else to say about Doug Ford. He sucks. Sucks.
Boo, you whore.
Boo, you whore. Yeah, you can clip that one. And you can always trust a French Canadian. Said it. Said it. Not always trust. Sorry. You can always, if you want something done, always trust a French Canadian. And in some cases, you can always trust a French Canadian. If you're in Quebec and the room is filled with French Canadians, in that scenario, you can always trust a French Canadian in that room. So
Yeah. I was going to say even men, but I'm not going to go that far yet.
Canadian Creepies podcast at gmail.com. Radio Valerie everywhere. Canadian Creepies, other places. Christine.
Check out Christine.
Canadian Creepies Research. On Instagram, Canadian Creepies Research at gmail.com if you want to email her.
You got a story, something she can sink her teeth into. She's all about that life.
And speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies if you want your own voice to say your own story.
Because we do that stuff.
We
be living that life. And you can find me at Down the Crooked Path. Down the Crooked Path on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff. I'm everywhere.
Everywhere. We're both everywhere. We're not hard to find.
Yeah. You can email me at crookedpathsocials@gmail.com. I almost forgot my email there.
And we'll be back next week.
Creep you later.
Don't let the bed creeps bite.